Ever booked a trip, got super excited, and then life happened? Maybe your plans changed, an emergency popped up, or you simply found a better deal. Whatever the reason, you're now staring at that Airbnb reservation wondering, can I even cancel this thing? That's exactly what we're diving into today. Because let's be honest, travel plans aren't always set in stone. Things change, and it's important to know your options when it comes to canceling an Airbnb booking. Now, before we jump into the nitty-gritty of cancellation policies, it's important to understand why these policies exist in the first place. Think about it from the host's perspective. They're relying on bookings to generate income. When someone cancels last minute, it can leave them with an empty property and lost revenue. That's why Airbnb has established a system of cancellation policies that aim to balance the needs of both guests and hosts. So, the short answer to, can I cancel my Airbnb booking, is almost always yes. However, the more important question is, what are the consequences of canceling? And that's where things get a little more complex. Airbnb offers several different cancellation policies that hosts can choose from. These policies dictate how much of your money you'll get back if you cancel your reservation. Let's break down the most common ones. First, we have the flexible cancellation policy. This is the most lenient option for guests. Generally, with a flexible policy, you can get a full refund if you cancel at least 24 hours before your check-in time. If you cancel within 24 hours of check-in, you'll typically be charged for the first night, plus Airbnb's service fee. Next up is the moderate cancellation policy. This one offers a bit more protection for hosts. Under a moderate policy, you can usually get a full refund if you cancel at least 5 days before check-in. If you cancel within 5 days, but before 1 day of check-in, you will be charged for the first night and 50% of all remaining nights. If you cancel within 1 day of check-in, you will be charged for all nights. Then we have the strict cancellation policy. As the name suggests, this is the most restrictive option. With a strict policy, you can usually get a 50% refund if you cancel at least 14 days before check-in. However, if you cancel within 14 days, you won't receive any refund. Finally, there's the long-term cancellation policy, which applies to bookings of 28 nights or more. This policy is quite different from the others. If you cancel a long-term booking, the guest must pay for the nights spent, plus 30 additional nights. If less than 30 nights remain in the reservation at the time of cancellation, the guest must pay for all remaining nights. Now, it's crucial to understand that these are general guidelines. The specific details of the cancellation policy will always be clearly stated on the listing page. Before you book any Airbnb, take a moment to carefully review the cancellation policy. It's usually found in the House Rules or Cancellation Policy section. Don't just skim over it. Actually read the details. This will save you from any unpleasant surprises later on. Okay, so you've checked the cancellation policy and you need to cancel. How do you actually do it? The process is fairly straightforward. First, log into your Airbnb account and go to your Trips page. Select the reservation you want to cancel. You should see a Cancel Reservation button. Click on it. Airbnb will then guide you through the cancellation process, explaining any applicable fees or refunds. Now, what if you need to cancel due to extenuating circumstances? Things like a death in the family, a serious illness, or a natural disaster. Airbnb has an extenuating circumstances policy that may allow you to receive a full refund even if the cancellation policy wouldn't normally allow it. To qualify for a refund under the extenuating circumstances policy, you'll need to provide documentation to support your claim. This could be a death certificate, a doctor's note, or official documentation of a natural disaster. It's important to contact Airbnb directly as soon as possible if you believe you qualify for this policy. They will review your case and determine if a refund is warranted. There are a few other important things to keep in mind when canceling an Airbnb booking. First, if you cancel a reservation, Airbnb's service fee is usually non-refundable. This is the fee that Airbnb charges for facilitating the booking. Second, if you cancel a reservation within 24 hours of booking, you may be eligible for a full refund, even if the host has a stricter cancellation policy. This is known as the 48-hour grace period. It was reduced to 24 hours. However, this only applies if the booking was made at least 14 days before check-in. Third, if the host cancels your reservation, you're entitled to a full refund. Airbnb may also help you find alternative accommodations. Finally, always communicate with your host. Even if you're canceling within the allowed time frame, it's courteous to let them know. A simple message explaining your situation can go a long way. So, to recap, can you cancel your Airbnb booking? Yes, but the consequences depend on the host's cancellation policy. Always check the policy before booking. Understand the different types of policies. Know how to cancel a reservation. Be aware of the extenuating circumstances policy. And always communicate with your host. Navigating Airbnb cancellations can seem a bit daunting at first, but by understanding the policies and procedures, you can avoid any unnecessary stress and ensure a smoother travel experience. It's all about being informed and prepared. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.